Welcome to another nerf or buff video for World of Warcraft. So today we're going to be talking about the upcoming class tuning, which just released today in America, but tomorrow in Europe. Will your class get nerfed or buffed? That is the question. So Kaivax, community manager, has now posted this. We regularly make combat design adjustments based on gameplay data and feedback from players on class performance. We schedule weekly maintenance in each region. September 3 in this region, we make the following changes to classes that are over and underperforming in various areas. So again, today in America, tomorrow in Europe. So it's starting, of course, with the beloved Death Knight. So only Frost changes is here. So if you play Unholy or Blood, nothing for you. But Frost strike damage reduced by 6 does not apply to PvP. So in PvE, Frost strike damage is reduced. And I mean, this, I guess, maybe it makes sense. I don't know. Because right now I know that Frost Death Knights has been like an S tier. Like it's like been in the top 3 of the best DPS classes. And I guess it's too much. Maybe, I don't know. I actually, honestly, I don't really see Death Knights. It's very rare I actually see them now thinking about it. Obliterate damage reduced by 6%. Icy Death Torrent damage reduced by 10. And Glacial Advance damage reduced by 10%. Does not apply to PvP. Only this one here, the Icy Death Torrent, is both PvE and PvP. Okay, so all Death Knights Frost got nerfed. Druid then, only for balance and feral. Umbral intensity increased the damage of Wrath by 20 to 40%, was 25 to 50, and Starfire by 15 to 30 was 50. Increased the damage of Wrath by 20 to 40 was okay. So so this is basically nerfing the Wrath damage, and also Starfire by 15/30. And it was just 50 like always. Star Search damage increased by 12. Okay, so they are basically... Oh, wait. Increases the damage of Wrath. Okay, so... Okay, it's because they use the word increase, but it's actually... It is actually a nerf in all. Star Search damage increased by 12. That's nice. Starfall damage increased by 20. That's also very nice. Harmony of the Heavens increased Eclipse by... power by 2% per proc, max 6 was 1 per proc, max 5. Okay, so this one is also getting a buff. Feral, Blood Talons, and Lion Strength now also increases the damage of Rampant Ferocity. Okay. I don't play Feral, so I don't know what it is, but if you play Feral, you probably know what this means. Evoker. So it looks like we're getting changes to Devastation and Flame Shaper. So Devastation. Damage of all spells and abilities increased by 6. Firestorm damage increased by 20. Firestorm duration reduced to 10 was 12. Okay. I guess it makes sense that they get a buff, because I never see a Devastation Evoker. I always only see that Autumn, whatever that support spec is. Yeah. And then Flame Shaper, whatever that is, engulf damage increased by 30%. Then we got Hunters, which, oh, it's the hero talents. Yeah, I forgot that we have this thing now. So Hunters, and there's a nerf for the pack leader. That's interesting. That's one of the hero talents as well. Vicious Hunt damage increased by 10 for Beast Mastery. Vicious Hunt damage increased by 10 for Survival. Okay, so Vicious Hunt is increased by 10% for both Beast Mastery and Survival. Developers note, when Vicious Hunt damage reaches a certain point, it can cause kill command to dominate survival rotation. These adjustments and subsequent compensation are meant to ensure pack leader survival hunter are utilizing the other tools at their disposal. Yeah, I heard of someone talk about this, that they kind of like trying to force you to do another rotation instead of just being spamming kill command. How's the pack? Howl of the Pack critical strike damage bonus increased to 5 for Beast Mastery was 3. Okay. Howl of the Pack critical strike damage is increased to 11 for Survival was 7. So above again. Furious Assault damage bonus increased by 60 for Survival was 30. Cool of the Herd damage over time. Cool the Herd damage over time increased to 60 for Survival was 30. So Survival is actually getting a buff, which is crazy, because I was in a group with a survival hunter, and even though he had green items and green weapons at level 80 in heroic, he just like did insane amount of damage in AoE. So that's quite interesting that they get even more damage, so they're gonna be even more crazier now. Interesting. Fire Mage. Living Bong damage increased by 30. Power Blast damage increased by 5. And Flame Strike damage increased by 10. Okay, I guess Fire Mage must really be underperforming, because that's a big buff. Frostfire. That must be the hero talents. Frostfire Bolt damage increased by 25 for fire. Okay. And then you have the Sun Fury, which is another hero talent. Burden of Power can no longer be double dipped by spell queuing. Oh. Arcane Phoenix damage dealt reduced by 10 for Arcane. Arcane Phoenix damage dealt reduced by 10% for Arcane. Okay, so Arcane was like doing a bit too much damage with the Arcane Phoenix. Arcane Soul base duration reduced to 2 was free. Okay. And then we have my beloved main, the Retribution Paladin. Mastery. High Lord's Judgments reduced by 10%. For example, at level 80, 180 mastery rating now grants 1.35 mastery, and it was 1.5%. I see. So Retribution got like an overall nerf on mastery, which is the most important stat for Retribution Paladins. It's like you just want to go mastery, everything mastery. So that's kind of sad to see that we are getting a nerf. Then you also have all holy spell damage increased by 5. So this is an interesting one. So they're nerfing our mastery, which is the most important stat for us, and then they give us an overall increase by 5 with holy spell damage, which is very interesting. I can't really see if this is gonna be like if this is a buff or if this is a nerf. Like, what is this overall? Like, does it mean a good thing or is it a bad thing? I'm actually not 100% sure. Then we have Priest. We got Discipline. Oracle Discipline Priest. Preventive measure now increased power with shield absorption by 40 was 25. Does not apply to PvP. Okay, so this is a buff. Atonement healing increased by 100 outside raid was 70. Does not apply to PvP. Okay, so when actually doing dungeons as a Discipline Priest, you're going to be doing way more healing through your Atonement now, because Atonement healing is increased by 100 outside raid was 70. So yeah, you're actually going to be healing 30% more from your Atonement now, which is the buff you give to someone when you want to like deal damage and heal at the same time. Okay. Fix an issue where Atonement critical healing was not increased by correct amount outside of raid. Fix an issue where Atonement critical healing was not increased by the correct amount outside of raid. Okay, that's definitely going to be... that's definitely something Discipline Priest should be feeling. Shadow of Pain and Purge the Wicked damage increased by 20. Another nice buff. Okay, so overall the Discipline Priest is actually getting... for Mythic Dungeon and Dungeons, they're getting like a big buff. Okay, that's nice. And then we have Shadow, where Void View of Shadow Priest Void Blast damage is increased by 20. Shaman, this is interesting. Elemental. Mastery Elemental Overload bonus to all elements. Mental and physical damage increased by 35. Wow. Oh. And then all damage reduced by 6. Ouch. I do know that Elemental Shaman has been in the S tier on the meta lists, so I guess they did too much damage. Stormbringer. Tempest now deals 65% of its damage to enemies near its primary target was 50. Okay, so another buff. Tempest now deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. And a nerf. And then we have Enhancement. All damage reduced by 40. Ouch. Elemental Blast damage increased by 12. Okay. Stormbringer, and the same here, where it now deals 65 to its primary target and was 50. So a buff, and then a debuff. Well, a nerf. That it's only now working. Well, now reduce the damage behind 5 targets. Then we have the other hero talent, Totemek. Tremor damage increased by 10. Searing Volley damage increased by 80. And then we have Warlocks. Destruction, all damage increased by 5. So I guess since this this nerf is coming, I guess Destruction Warlocks must simply, you know, not do enough damage. But I do know some Warlocks in my guild, so they probably happy with this one. I mean, 5% more damage is 5, you know, it's solid. Then we have PvP. So basically this is for player versus player only. So if you're only interested in PvE, you can leave now. But alright, Druid. Rip damage increased by 15 in PvP combat. Rake damage increased by 15 in PvP combat. Balance, Lunar Calling Now increases Starfire damage by 50 in PvP combat. Was 65. Okay, so we got a, so Feral is getting a buff. I mean, since they say everyone, is because literally like all of them can use these abilities. But I mean, most cases we gotta see Feral using it. But still, I mean, a healer could also deal more damage now with these. Lunar Calling Now, okay, that was the one we just read. Umbral Embrance has now increased the damage of Wrath and Starfire by 40 in PvP combat. Was 75. Okay, so Balance is getting a nerf. Feral. Taste for Blood's damage increased to Ferocious Bite during Tiger's Fury. Decreased by 50% in PvP combat. Ouch. Saberjaw's effectiveness now reduced by 50% in PvP combat. Ouch. I guess Feral has been doing a bit too much damage in player versus player. Then we got Mage Frost. Iceland's damage increased by 45 in PvP. Was 75. Oh, ouch. Another nerf. Monk. Master of Harmony. Manifestation is now 50% effective in PvP combat. Okay, what does this mean? Like, what was it before? Was it like 100% before? Was it 10% before? I guess this means, like, you know, they nerfed it. So now before manifestation worked 100% and now it's only 50%. It's kind of what I'm reading from it. Chi burst damage reduced by 30 for Brewmaster monks in PvP combat. Okay. I do know Brewmaster used to be a very like a strong arena class. You would have like a 3 versus 3 arena with them. Mistweaver, Peace Weaver now reducing the cooldown of revival by 33, was 50. Life Cocoon is now 30% more effective in PvP combat. That's nice. Now reduce the cooldown of revival by 33, was 50. Ouch. This is okay. A little nerf and a little buff. Actually, a big buff. Enveloping Mist can no longer be dispelled. That's a nice one. Priest, Holy, Prayer of Mending, healing increased by 65 in PvP combat. Nice. Shaman enhancement, Lavalanche damage increased by 16 PvP combat. Nice. Stormstrike and Windstrike damage increased by 16 PvP combat. Nice. Wind Fury attack increased by 16 PvP combat. Nice. So enhancement is getting a pretty cool like a PvP buff. Warrior. Thunderous Roar damage reduced by 15 PvP combat. Nerf. Arms. Auto attack damage no longer decreased by an additional 12% in PvP combat. Auto attack damage no longer decreased by an additional 12% in PvP combat. That's also kind of like a weird nerf. Like, why would you nerf the auto attack? But I'm glad that they removed that. And then you have Fury. Odin's Fury damage reduced by 20 in PvP combat. I guess too many people have been one-shotting with using Odin's Fury and then Bladestorm after each other. So that's basically it. That is actually it. This is it. This is the class changes we're getting. And keep in mind, we're getting class changes every single week. So even if you play a class right now that is getting nerfed, remember it could get buff. If you're playing a class that is very bad right now, but you have fun with it, it might be worth just sticking with it because, you know, it can go up and down. So the same with me. I'm gonna just, you know, play my red Pella, and if it's gonna be nerfed, it is what it is. So yeah. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and this was the class tuning that is out now in US and tomorrow in Europe. Peace out.